Welcome, friends. At this moment, we would like to share with you wise analysis from my friend from United Kingdom that would like to share his experience in trading when he started and with his position and that situation that happens with crypto during this drop. Okay. I would call him Mr. Trader, and because he would like to be private. And okay, Mr. Trader, can you tell me please how we meet and what situation had happened and what would like to share with other people?
I just would like to let people know I started trading by the end of January, early February, and I thought I was very intelligent. I started with $100, $200, and I was doing spot trading. And at the time, I didn't know what futures is, and all what I knew is spot trading. And I built confidence within a couple of weeks. I thought, that's it, I know the game. And I saw Yuri's videos on TradingView, and I was following up, and 2-3 videos, I thought, I'm trader now. And from the $200, I've put about 35,000 into the account, and I was doing spot trading, and then a big dip happened by mid-April, and I freaked out. I did make money. I made about 38,000, 40,000, and then I put more money into the account. In total, my account came to about $93,000. And then when the dip happened in early April, about 18th of April, there was a dip then, a softer one. All my coins dropped by 30%, 40%, and I freaked out. And this is when I reached out to Yuri. Do you remember, Yuri? I called you that day. I was panicking, and what shall I do?
Yes, I remember. Best what you can do is to get out of what you don't understand.
Yes, and you told me at the time, be careful because you don't know what you're capable of. And I didn't understand what you mean. I'm like, what do you mean what you're capable of? And to be honest, at that time, I put some more money and I tried to martingale the positions. Like I tried to buy even. And what I did was putting more money into a losing pot.
I understand.
I wish I sold everything the day you told me sell. I would be in about $20,000 profit today.
You would be in a profit and you would buy at bottom so many good coins.
Exactly.
Imagine that all of that coins, as you can see, on most coins at the bottom, huge, massive volume. Also, I sent into our VIP room that yesterday were deposit nearly 5 billion on all exchanges. That means big guys, I think it's big guys especially did it to get out every person that used margin and to blow out their accounts. Because imagine, if you bought any coin, for example, you bought Ethereum at 3,000, how big guys can make that you would give it to them?
By bringing the price down, and I lose.
If they know areas where people massively they stop like margin calls of their accounts, and they just need to press price down. That's what did, because before all of that massive drop, someone deposited a lot of bitcoins. It was nearly the same. It was nearly the same as it was before a massive crash in 2020. As you can see, someone massively deposited a lot of bitcoins exactly before this drop, nearly the same as in March 2020. And took positions of weak hands. What would you share to other traders? What mistakes that should avoid from your current experience? What you can share to them?
I think the first mistake is this whole marketing, like buying cheaper and cheaper to adjust the price. You can do it like if you are very close or with a small amount, but in my scenario, as we said earlier, I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm playing with, I'm calling it big money. Maybe it's little money for other people, but I had $90,000 in my hand. If I see a coin without any fundamental analysis or any proper technical analysis, I see a coin, I like the name, I like the graph, I'm taking $5,000-$10,000 and buying. And that was very silly. And the other thing, like with respect to all traders, maybe lots of them know what it is. I didn't know what futures is, what spot is. So I was doing it. And whenever I see, do you know this little screenshot you share from the futures and it shows the profit? And I always had this big question mark for about 2 months. How can somebody make 800% profit? Because I'm buying on spot and I didn't know there is leverage, and I'm buying on spot. I can never make more than 100% if I'm lucky. Like you can on spot, you 100% is rare. And then when I spoke to you and you asked me several times, the same like you told me sell several times, you asked me several times, are you an investor or a trader? And I insisted that I'm a trader. I want to trade day in, day out. And then I discovered futures, and I was treating futures like I treat spot. So the same way I was putting $10,000 in spot on one coin, and I was putting 10,000 pounds in futures on one coin with high leverage, thinking, wow, that's a jackpot. But with leverage, your $10,000, if it goes against you by 5%, you're out.
Yeah, even 20x and you completely wipe out.
Exactly. And you like you do the risk reward ratio and you see it in there and it tells you 1 to 4. But you need to think like if you're doing leverage 20%, it just needs to move 5% and you're liquidating.
20x, you mean?
But like I didn't study enough and I didn't educate myself enough. I learned by doing it. Like imagine I put $5,000 there with 20 leverage and it moves against me. Like I'm watching it like this and no stop loss. Within 3 minutes, I'm out. 3 minutes, one candle dropped 5%. The 5,000 disappeared. And I was like, it is shocking. If you're not educated, you don't know what you're doing. It is shocking. Like writing, people think, you can do it. Like all what happened now, and I'm talking about is within a couple of months. And it's unbelievable how much I learned in a couple of months. But when you start, you are like incompetent. You don't know, but you don't know that you don't know. And
that's the worst part.
The frightening point is when you don't know that you don't know. Like you're unconsciously incompetent of what you're doing and you kill yourself.
I hope you understand at this moment why at the beginning I always start from risk management. Even workshop, if you saw educational course from risk management, I always tell to people start with small account at the beginning, because it doesn't matter what account you have at the beginning, with huge possibility you will blow out. And better to blow out like 1,000, 2,000. And
you always have hopes. If you are putting money in spot, there is always hope. Maybe the market dies and it dies, I don't know, it goes dead for 2 years. There is maybe hope one day, but with futures, that's it. Like once you liquidate, that's it.
You sleep calm.
To be honest with you, if I had all my money in futures, I will be now, I don't know.
But you say like, but you made money before. But you made.
I would say I did about 45,000 within a matter of, I don't know, 5-6 weeks.
Like you.
Like wow, and I almost was thinking about closing my company and doing this. Like this is my life business. I don't want to work anymore. Like I made 40,000-50,000 in just over a month. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's it.
But as you can see, market far more tricky. But what you can tell, because you say you used martingale, you made a lot of money. But I think most people don't realize that you can be right like 20, 30, 40 times by using martin.
Because we are human beings. Like if I trust Yuri, if Yuri now tells me, I don't know, jump from the window, maybe I will jump out of the window, because we are human beings and we trust. And somehow, without thinking, you fall in love with a coin, or you trust a coin is going to make you money. The same coin all the time will make you money. And you forget that, the market corrects itself. It it retraced. For example, when you mentioned the 11 coins to buy on spot after the April dip, one of them was TLM. And I bought TLM on spot. I didn't know future existed at the time. I
also bought it.
Yes, I bought TLM when you said, and I think I bought about $10,000 TLM, and it went up 110% or something. Right. And I was like, wow.
200% it rose up.
I think I sold after about 120% or something. But the stupid thing, I put 10,000, I sold for 20,000, and then it retraced, and I bought with 20,000, like it retraced by about 13% at the very top. It retraced 13%. I put the initial 10 and the 10 profit, and I bought for 20,000. And then it carried on going all the way down to where we are today. So
at the starting point.
Exactly. So my 20,000 today are worth 8,000 from when I bought it, because in my mind it's like, that's the coin. I found the treasure, and this is the coin that will keep giving me. But it isn't. And once it retraces a little, if you cannot jump back in like it's going to carry on, unless there is a good entry point and there is analysis. And
value area is the most important support. It is the next thing that we will learn on it.
Exactly. And the good thing about your community is there are very experienced traders and there are less experienced traders, and that you can ask. Like when I used to watch your videos at the very early stages, you had the volume on the side, the blue and yellow line. And I didn't know what they are. I didn't want to ask you on TradingView what these are because it's public. But this is the benefit of your community. You are in a closed community, and we are all there to advise and share. And obviously you and the team are there. So you can ask, what is it? And somebody yesterday in Discord said, what are these blue and yellow lines? Do you remember? And the good thing is that you are there to learn. You are there to learn. And
this stuff is really important, because it's people that traded before. They are the best support.
I don't know if you remember. I was in like getting depressed with all my figures going down. And you mentioned that there is a likelihood to have a dip. And I asked you on Discord, could I short the market? And my understanding of shorting is not what shorting is. I was Googling and checking online, and I understood that shorting, that you sell here and you buy again here. So I was planning to sell all my spot here and rebuy them here, rather than shorting. What shorting is, like today I know what shorting is, but when I was reading the fundamental of shorting is that you sell here and you buy here. But on futures, you're selling something you don't actually have. You're putting money.
On stock, you also can have, because on stocks, you can borrow stock from exchange.
Exactly, but you know these things because you're a trader, you're an economic, like you work with these things, but people just who's got money and would like to try it. In my mind, shorting was selling all my $90,000 spot and hope the market will drop so I buy again. But this is not the proper shorting, as in shorting. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand. But it also would be good if you would do it. But at this moment...
It will be good, but doing it without any technique. Like I was just planning to go and sell 90,000 worth of coins spread over 25 coins. Just sell them like this and sit down and wait. Hopefully very soon it will drop. Like, you know, like it works, but doing it blindly, it's a little idiotic.
It's idiotic, and I would say it's difficult to do for a person that do it first time, because at this moment I completely calm. At this drop yesterday, I was maybe one of the happiest person on the world. Because really good projects that bounce to massive value areas. Massive value areas, I showed it is that big volume, and they exactly bounce it. It is maybe one of the best opportunity to buy finally on spot, because for last 2 months I waited for something really good to buy on spot. And when you will go through these cycles many times, for you would just wait for it.
And the other thing is, we are like, I don't know, today I'm part of your community, and there are people who just go online and YouTube, and there are lots of with respect to everybody, people talking about all sorts of things. As a fresh trader or somebody new, you don't realize that nobody, even the best trader in the has the answer. Nobody. Like, yes. Even when you say it, when you're doing any analysis, you say, I think this is going to happen, maybe, and people don't hear the word thing. They want yes or no. They want black or white. And people keep asking you this or this. And it's like, I don't know. But as a fresh trader, you don't realize, and you see a person on YouTube or on TradingView or whatever, and you think this guy has the answer. And whatever he says, you go do it with big amount of money. And then the market goes against you. And the bottom line is nobody knows. If you, Yuri, have the answer, you will be a millionaire now in the Bahamas, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
You won't be working today. If you had the answer,
I would be working, but it would be completely different level.
Yes. Yes.
Because my dreams and plans, it is not like island on Bahamas. And most of the people don't realize that when I do analysis, example like yesterday about Bitcoin, that I told that I would be happy if it would drop to 30 and make a real low. Will it happen? I don't know. Most of the people, as you see inside in community, keep asking me that. Will it happen or won't it happen? I don't know. But if that happens, that would be one of the best opportunity to buy. As a trader, I build scenarios with some probabilities. And biggest problem of all retail traders, they just jump into the market. My difference is that I build scenarios and I wait to one of those scenarios happens. And that's all. Because in those scenarios, I understand where momentum can be created. For example, real low, how momentum can be created. A lot of people at this moment bought Bitcoin. Many of them bought with huge leverage. And their stop losses of those that bought at 32, 30, 35, their stop losses would be sell. And if someone would absorb those volume, that would be a signal that the market just take liquidity and market needed for good and powerful trend. That's why I like it. And I mentioned, as you remember, paranormal finish pattern. It works really well on all markets. But we are here to share wisdom with people, and like it is a priest in church all the time. You should repeat every Sunday. You should repeat. And
there are things you hear all the time, but you don't like the word stop loss. The word, like before getting into futures, I was buying on spot and placing a sell order a little under. Like stop loss, but I was doing it manually, like buying here and hoping it's going to go up 20% and $10,000 will become 12,000. And I put sell order just under. But this is not the proper stop loss. And I think one of the biggest thing, I didn't know futures existed or what they are, or I thought I'm trading with spot. And there is a big difference. And in spot, having all this money sitting in spot is really silly. Like you do it, like 5-10 coins. You understand who these companies are. There is solid background behind them. You can put your money there and forget about it 6 months, 1 year, whatever. But putting all this money in spot, I don't know, it was tricky for me.
Biggest problem was that when you started, you were at lucky start. Market were bullish, and doesn't matter what you bought, because you share with me all the list of coins. Doesn't matter what you buy. It's
even my wife used to tell me, "What is this coin you bought? Like, who made it? What it is?" I'm like, "What do I care? It doesn't matter, sweetheart. You just look at the graph. If it's going upward, you just buy, and you sell it next week, and you buy for 5,000, you sell it for 6,000 next week, and job done. And then you buy for 6,000 and you sell it for 7,100, and it keeps like snowball and it keeps growing. But this is not the reality, because you go up and then it needs to be
played out for you for 6 weeks and built you really strong confidence, because when you started, you were like you had that really strong confidence that we should change our situations, that you should teach me, because I saw it many times, and I tried to persuade you to get out, but maybe I didn't found a key to your mind to help you close it faster. Because at this moment, I think you understood why I told you to withdraw at least what you have, because you don't know what mistakes you can do. And it's the same when you go into gym with boxing and you try to fight with the guys that like champion of the state, and you don't know how he can punch you.
It is very tricky. It's not tricky like, because people investing, I know some of them are young, they are playing with 100, 200, 500, 1000 pocket money. But some of the trade, I know a lot of people like myself, like they're not very, very young, and they have businesses and they have money and saving. And sometimes it's hard to accept, you know, one guy in Ukraine telling you go sell $90,000 of altcoin is like, it's my money. No, I'm not selling. I'm going to lose 20,000. Well, this guy in Ukraine has years of experience more than me. He has seen it all. He knows what he's talking about. It's not like I didn't trust you. I don't know. I thought like, no, I don't know. I can't tell you what the answer is. But in my mind, if I sold everything at 70,000, while I have $94,000, I'm going to lose 24. Like, I'm not selling, but today my 90,000 is worth 25,000. So at the time, I would have got my money back and 20,000 maybe profit or something. But lucky, most of it is on spot. So hopefully, I don't know, in the long term, it will.
At this moment, it looks that there could be a good bounce back. Not today, because today price already bounced too heavy, but just keep it. But now I understood that maybe it's better to share more examples with people that they need to be careful at the beginning, because you're right. Because I told you many times, but I didn't try to persuade like to completely sell to you that you will fully that idea to get out fully will be grown in your mind. Next time I will do it even better to people. I think we are talking at this moment more than 20 minutes. Can you tell, like, summarize all of this and to beginner traders, like build a summary what they should do at the beginning, how they should start their process properly, that they build really skill and understanding what they do, and lose the lowest amount of money for their education?
I think like if I'm to summarize it, basically is what I would do if I start again today. Maybe the first thing before even looking at education, I would join a knowledgeable community like the one you have. It's not the marketing for you. I'm not trying to be nice to you, but whether it's yourself or any other, whatever exists, I don't know what's out there. But being part of the community and asking and understanding and being able, you hear the terms like liquidity, liquidation, high volume, low volume. You don't know what they are. Like you think, yeah, I know what liquidity. No, you need to understand what liquidity is in the trading. So being part of community and learn and do it there is the key. And understand that the difference between spot and futures and how leverage work, and whatever money you put in spot, okay, you are less likely to lose it very fast, but this money, you would put it there. Like if I am to do it again now, I will put money there that I'm happy to forget about it for at least a year. Otherwise, like there's no point putting money in spot to make profit next week. This will become like, yeah, you can make 10, 20%, but so any money I would put in spot, in my mind from now on, is sitting there for at least a year. And in futures, because there is possibility to do leverage and to maximize profit, etc., etc. But do you remember when you told me sell everything, take your capital back, and even put some of the profit in your bank, and only leave 4,000 or 5,000? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And in my mind is like, I want to make money. 5,000? 5,000 won't make me money. Like, not today. If you give me now, I don't have 5,000 liquidity today. If you give me 5,000 liquidity today, maybe I can make it 4 or 5 times more in within 10 days. But when you told me keep 4,000 or 5,000, I'm like, and I think the next time you told me sell everything, you told me keep 2,000, 3,000. I'm like, what is Yuri talking about? So yes, literally, if you're going into futures, you don't need to like, it's not, you don't need, everybody has different capacity. Like, be my guest to put 10 million in futures, but $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 USDT in futures, this is a serious amount to play with. And money that you want to just save and forget about it, put it in spot, and don't look at it maybe for 1 year.
Major idea why I tell at the beginning why it's so important to start with small amount of money is to build a skill.
Yes.
Because when you build a skill, you make mistakes. It is natural process. But better to do mistakes on small amount. And if you lose it, it's like, okay, lives go on, nothing can change to you.
Potential of profit you can make with 5,000 USDT in futures is big. You can make serious money.
You can make serious money, and when you build a skill, process, understanding, you can start building and adding money.
Exactly.
But it would be far more wiser because you will have experience and you will do less mistakes.
And I don't know, as a trader, it's not you shouldn't trust. You shouldn't think when somebody, whether it's Yuri or anybody online or anywhere, tells you this will happen. Nobody knows. This is the bottom line of it. Like even yesterday, you mentioned the top 6, 7 coins to buy. And you know in your heart, nobody knows. Correct? Like,
yes.
You could have woke up today in loss. Like nobody knows.
That's why we bought a lot of coins to diversify, because some of them would never rise up. Some of them would rise up. And that's it.
And the time, this is one of the main things that killed me. You think I got to catch it before it goes. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to be patient and wait for it and observe it. And if you're watching TradingView, you can put an alert and wait for it. Like if it's going up and you missed it, like it's not that, like don't wait for it to retrace by 2-3% and buy. You already missed it. Like there is no point trying to race with the candle. And do you know what I mean? And like yesterday when you mentioned these coins and you said you gave the ideal range to buy them.
Yep.
And it was about 25% higher already.
But after that, it made a pullback in the night.
Like if that was me a month ago, I would have bought them there. I would be like, yeah, he advised to buy it between 0.5 and 0.6, but it's already 0.95. It will never go back. I will go and buy. That was a month ago. When you said the range is 0.5, 0.6, I'm giving an example. I actually placed a spot order, not on 0.6, on 0.49, even lower than what you said on all of them. And I picked a few of my own. And like I pulled it to the very, very bottom and went to sleep. And this morning I woke up, out of 17 orders, I got about 9. And the others didn't actually pull down that much. But these 9 I got, they are now 20 plus
up. And you have really good entry points because many good coins drop by 80%. And at this moment, like in worst scenario, you will be at break even on those positions.
Not waiting and thinking that's it, I'm going to miss. There is always a way back. Like you just don't need to rush into any trade, even if you see the candle going. You know, and at the early stages, I was so excited. I used to get annoyed when yourself or anybody else is doing technical analysis on the 1 hour and 4 hour, and I'm like, why are they looking at the 1 hour? I'm trading in and out within like. I would open TradingView and go into the 3-minute view or the 1-minute view. Do you know what I mean? Like I was losing patience and I want to know what's going to happen in the next 20 seconds. And then I get on TradingView or you publish a video and you are looking at the 4-hour chart. I'm like, why is this man looking at the 4-hour chart? I want to know what's happening in the next 10 seconds. And now myself, the first thing I look at is the 1 day chart, not the 1 hour, or like today with the knowledge I have, the very first thing I look at is the 1 day chart to understand what has been happening, the bigger picture, where is the key level, but this is me today after all the mess I got myself into. And, I learned the hard way, and there is an easier way with a supportive community, with somebody to mentor you and help you, whether it's Yuri or anybody else. But, I'm lucky to be here. I'm happy, sir.
I'm happy that you admire that you like it's a lesson, because some people start like being depressed.
So touch wood. I have a business, and I have 2 companies, and I have income, and I know we're talking, almost 100 grand, but yeah, I am a bit like, what happened, but sometimes I think about it. If that was somebody maybe younger than me who doesn't have regular income from businesses from somewhere, and they end up in my situation, that can ruin their life for 4 or 5 years to stand back on their feet.
Yes.
That's serious.
In your current situation, a little bit better, because if you would use borrowed money, I know people, by the way, I had analytic in my team, and we were working together, and he, like, when we were working together, and he also built his confidence that really, and he borrowed 20K. I paid to him 1,000, like he borrowed 20K for trading. That means it is like 2 years of his salaries, without any food, and he have 2 kids. And he started trading, and he used martingale on gold. When gold started all that way up in 2020, but he do opposite, he sell it, and he blew out all that money. After that, he borrowed money. It not kind people. He didn't borrow it in a bank. He borrowed it from people that
loan sharks.
Yes, they would get it back at any cost. And he couldn't work like for three months. His job was awful, and it ended up that I fired him because he didn't do his duties. He always was depressed, and because of that, he maybe blew out 2-3 years of his life.
It does affect your emotion, your personal life. Like even my wife, like by mid-April, my wife told me, "You don't love me anymore. You love your altcoins." It's like I go to bed. The first thing I do is I grab the phone and I check what's happening, and it's like, you don't love me anymore. Like it does affect you, and even if you're doing this on the side of your job, like even if my job, my clients became, I don't want to talk to my client. I don't want to answer the phone in my business. Like it affects the whole thing. You become, and then when I used to watch you and I'm like, okay, this is a guy who's managing community, managing a team, doing video, trading view, mentoring people and trading. And look how relaxed he is. How can that be? Do you know what I mean? But this can be because you know what you are doing. And I was overwhelmed. It was affecting my life, my everything.
But I think you understand me, but you run business, and I also started a business from zero. And it was not in one day. We built it step by step.
Yeah.
And at this moment, we have a team that most of tasks team do. Like at this moment, I try to give as much job to them as possible. To do only things that I can do, like to speak with VIP clients, to share ideas, educate, something like that. That's the thing. Okay, I think we should finish because it's nearly 40 minutes. Those people that will watch till the end, I hope I would also add a few words. If you hear it, please listen again and understand the key points that you don't need at the beginning big funds. Build a skill because you don't know where you are. You are in a pool with sharks, and at any opportunity they will eat you as soon as possible. And just build a process because it won't be in one day. It needs time. But if you're ready to put efforts, it will come to you. Because biggest problem that some of you think that like you saw some Instagram, some people like bought Lambo, and like it's so easy, but not. It's not easy. It needs a skill.